human woman named Maya Brooke serves as a medical officer aboard an exploration vessel when it encounters a damaged alien ship from the Valerian species. The Valerians are a warrior race with violet skin and exceptional physical strength, but they possess a fatal genetic flaw that causes their immune systems to fail during pregnancy. Maya discovers that human DNA contains a unique protein sequence that could save the Valerian species from extinction. An injured Valerian commander, named Jara, becomes the first to receive experimental treatment from Maya, creating an unprecedented bond between their species. As Maya works to help Jara recover, the alien warrior begins showing unexpected emotional responses that her people consider dangerous weaknesses. Jara struggles between her duty to her empire and the strange protective feelings she develops toward the fragile human who refuses to give up on her. Maya faces opposition from both her own crew, who fear the powerful aliens, and from Valerian officials who view humans as inferior and unworthy of trust. Through patience and medical breakthroughs, Maya proves that humanity's greatest strength is not physical power, but compassion and scientific innovation. Jara must choose between returning to her people to share the cure or staying to protect Maya from those who would exploit the discovery. The story concludes with Jara publicly defending humanity before the Valerian High Council, demonstrating that true strength includes the courage to be vulnerable and the wisdom to accept help from unlikely sources. Complete story. The medical bay hummed with familiar sounds as Maya Brooks checked her instruments for the third time that hour. She had been a medical officer for 6 years, but nothing in her training prepared her for what waited in the darkness beyond their ship. The distress signal came through just after midnight, and Captain Rodriguez ordered an immediate response. Now Maya stood ready while the crew brought aboard whatever survivors they could find. The doors hissed open and Maya felt her breath catch in her throat. The being they carried was massive, easily 7 feet tall, with skin that shimmered like crushed amethyst under the lights. Her armor was scorched and broken, revealing deep wounds that leaked silver blood onto the floor. This was a Valerian warrior, one of the most feared species in the known galaxy. Maya pushed her fear aside and moved forward with her medical scanner. The aliens' vital signs were weak and fading fast. Her crewmate Danny Sullivan looked pale as he helped lower the warrior onto the examination table. Nobody survives Valerian attacks, the stories always said. Yet here Maya was trying to save one of them. She worked, quickly cleaning wounds and sealing the worst of the bleeding with synthetic tissue. The warrior's eyes flickered open, revealing irises that swirled like galaxies filled with purple and gold. Those eyes fixed on Maya with an intensity that made her hands shake. "Why do you help me?" the Valerian whispered in broken English. Her voice carried harmonics that resonated in Maya's chest. "Because you need help." Maya answered simply. She injected pain medication and watched the warrior's face relax slightly. The Valerian seemed confused by this response, as if kindness was a foreign concept. Over the next few days, Maya learned that her patient's name was Jara, and she commanded a reconnaissance fleet. Jara's ship had been attacked by pirates and her crew was dead. The warrior accepted this fact with stoic silence, but Maya saw grief flickering in those strange eyes as Jara healed. Maya discovered something troubling in her blood work. There was a genetic degradation happening at the cellular level, something that went beyond her injuries. When Maya asked about it, Jara finally explained the truth. The Valerian species was dying. For generations, their people had been warriors conquering worlds and building an empire through strength. But that same genetic engineering that made them powerful had introduced a fatal flaw: Valerian. Females could no longer carry children to term. Their immune systems treated the developing infant as a foreign threat and rejected it. Within 2 generations, the Valerian race would be extinct. Maya spent sleepless nights analyzing the data, comparing Valerian DNA with human samples from the medical database. She found something extraordinary, hidden in human genetic code. Humans produced a unique protein sequence during pregnancy, something that suppressed aggressive immune responses. It was this adaptation that allowed human mothers to carry genetically distinct offspring without rejection. If Maya could isolate and synthesize this protein, it might save the Valerian species. She presented her findings to Jara, who listened with an expression Maya could not read. "You would do this for my people?" Jara asked. Her voice held disbelief. and something else that sounded almost like hope. Maya met her gaze steadily. I became a doctor. To save lives, she said. Your species deserves a future just like anyone else. Something shifted in Jara's expression, and for the first time the warrior smiled. It was a small, hesitant thing, but it transformed her face entirely. Maya felt her heart skip, in a way that had nothing to do with fear. The experiments began with Jara's full cooperation. Maya synthesized the human protein and introduced it into Valerian cell cultures. The results were promising, but translating success from lab to living being required time they might not have. The Valerian High Council learned of Jara's survival and sent ships to retrieve their commander. When the delegation arrived, Maya saw the disdain in their eyes as they looked at the human crew. The lead diplomat, male named Vorath, spoke to Jara in their own language, clearly expecting privacy. But Maya had been studying Valerian linguistics, and she understood enough. Vorath ordered Jara to return immediately and forget about the humans' foolish experiments. He called Maya and her crew primitive creatures unworthy of Valerian attention. Jara responded in English so Maya could understand every word. This human has shown me more honor than our entire council, she said. Her voice was cold and hard like steel. Offers salvation for our children while you offer only pride. I will not abandon her work. The other Valerians looked shocked that their commander would defend a human. Vorath stepped closer, his posture threatening. You have grown weak, he said. Emotional. Attachment to lesser beings is a disease. Jara moved faster than Maya could track. One moment she stood beside the medical table, and the next she had Vorath pinned against the wall, her hand pressed against his throat with enough force to make him call her lesser again. Jara growled. The challenge hung in the air until Vorath yielded with a sharp nod. The delegation left, but Maya knew they would return. She worked harder, pushing herself through exhaustion to refine the treatment. Jara stayed, by her side offering assistance despite having no medical training. The warrior learned quickly, and her presence became a comfort during the long nights. Sometimes they talked about their lives before this moment. Maya shared stories of growing up on Earth, of choosing medicine because her grandmother died from a preventable disease. Jara spoke of training from childhood to be a soldier, of never knowing gentleness or peace. On your world, do parents hold their children? Jara asked one night. Her voice was soft, almost wistful. Maya nodded. All the time, she said. Physical affection is how we show love. Jara looked down at her hands, large and scarred from countless battles. I do not remember my mother, she said. Warriors are raised in training groups. There is no time for weakness like affection. Maya's heart ached for this powerful being who had never known a simple hug. She reached out slowly, giving Jara time to pull away. When the warrior did not move, Maya took her hand. Affection is not weakness, she said gently. It is what makes us strong enough to protect the people we love. Jara's fingers curled around Maya's hand carefully, as if she held something infinitely precious. The moment stretched between them, filled with possibilities neither dared to name. 3 weeks after the first delegation, a larger Valerian fleet arrived. This time they did not ask. Captain Rodriguez received orders to surrender Maya and all her research. The Valerian Empire claimed the treatment belonged to them, and humans had no right to it. Maya refused to hand over her work, knowing the Empire would weaponize it somehow. They would use the cure as leverage, controlling who lived and died. Jara stood between Maya and her own people, declaring that she would protect the human doctor. The standoff lasted hours, with weapons charged and tensions rising. Finally, Maya made a decision. She broadcast her research to every ship and station within range. Human Valerian and dozens of other species received the complete treatment protocols. Now the cure belonged to everyone. The Valerian commander of the fleet was furious but powerless. He could not suppress information that had already spread across the galaxy. Vorath appeared on screen, his face twisted with rage. You have destroyed us, he shouted. Lesser species will demand we change our ways. They will see us as equals. Maya met his anger with calm resolve. Then perhaps it is time your people learned that strength and compassion are not opposites, she said. True power is having the courage to change. The fleet withdrew, leaving Jara to make her own choice. The warrior could return to her people as a hero, bringing salvation to future generations. Or she could stay with Maya knowing it meant exile from everything she had ever known. Jara looked at Maya for a long moment, those galaxy eyes searching for something. Among my people there is a word, she said. Jevala, it means the one who shows you your true heart. I thought I was a warrior and nothing more. But you showed me I could be more than what I was made to be. She reached out and pulled Maya into an embrace careful of her human fragility. I choose you, Jara whispered. Wherever you go, I will follow. Maya wrapped her arms.